It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. Sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea. We are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.
Hi everyone, it's me, Kalechi, in the place to be. Yes, welcome patrons. Let me know how you're enjoying this, whether you do want videos, whether you do want a YouTube video, whether you'd prefer to have an audio of the extra content instead. Like, comment and let me know, because I want to make it accessible to you and convenient for you. So just let me know while I go on for that. Yeah, so we're talking about tarot. So like I said, this week we pulled the Chariot, talking about travel, whether that's internal or external. But some of you are going places. You're literally going places in your career, or just, you know, just generally. But you're moving. It's a major energy, because we're looking at a major arcana, not a minor one. It's a major energy of travel, of movement, and I pray that you are protected and watched over on this journey. Some of you might have already started that journey. You might be away right now, and you might be finding it hard, because the card that came up underneath that was the Tower. And it's actually interesting, because after the Tower, the next card in the deck is the Two of Wands, literally looking out into the ocean. So that confirms, thank you, spirit guides, thank you, spirit babes. That literally confirms what I've just said about the fact that you're looking at the world. The world is in the palm of your hand, and you're ready to look for new shores, new places, new horizons. So this is travel. This is a strong element that some of you are going to be asked to travel very soon, if you're not already on that journey, because the thing that changes you, that takes you a level up in your life, is happening. It has to happen from that travel. Be prepared for it. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be cushy. It's not no vacation. You're going to have to work your fucking ass off. You're going to have to work harder than you've ever worked before. And you're going to have to do that work of uprooting the structures within yourself that keep telling you that you can't do things. You can do it. You do deserve this. And when they do ask you, whether it's at work or whether it's a self-employed thing, when you are asked at that point that it's time for you to go, don't start giving excuses. Pack your bags and go. And I think we've covered travel on this podcast before, you know, this idea of going away. But this, more than ever, is massively hinting that you're going away, or massively suggesting that you're going away. But for you to go, you're going to find that some people are uncomfortable, but some people are downright hateful. They don't want you to have had this opportunity. How dare you? Why are you the one getting all this opportunity? What makes you think you're so nice? Doesn't matter. Some things will crumble. Some friendships will crumble. Some relationships might crumble, because they have served their purpose. They have seen through the season that they were meant to be in your life for, and they now need to fall away. And the falling away doesn't always feel nice, but we are reassured from the Two of Wands that this is what needs to happen, because there's a whole new world, a brand new, I don't know the rest. Anyway, yeah. So anyway, Tower, as destructive and as scary as it looks, I hate whenever I have to see the Tower, but I talk to myself and I remind myself that things must be things must be uprooted, things must be pulled from you, from within you, like literally pulled out from within you, that no longer serve you. Because if you were left to your own devices, you will leave them there and they would fester. And when things are rotting and festering, nothing new can grow in its place. Yeah? So be prepared, my people. The time is now. The time is now to move on. So yeah, bringing us to the subject of today, Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child. I feel so guilty. You know, I'm not even going to try and dance around it and theorize it and whatever. I just feel guilty, because I love a Michelle joke. I would key and ha at these Michelle jokes. And it's the thing that people say on the internet that, you know, we're all busy laughing at things. And then when someone comes forward and goes, oh, actually, I suffer from depression, I'm suffering from this, we're like, oh my God, oh, check on your strong friends. Guys, we need to be really sensitive about the things that we say about people. But nah, on the real, like this knocked me for six. I know that some people already knew about her depression. And so that's also what bothered me, in that when it was brought up that she checked herself in to a facility, some people were like, well, it's not to do with what we said online, because she was depressed from Destiny's Child early days. Bitch, so what? Because she already suffers from depression, that makes it okay, the things that were happening online. Do you not see how your 2 plus 2 is equaling chicken and chips and it doesn't make sense? You're very mad. Mental health is no joke. Mental illnesses are no fucking joke. And I tell you that from a first-hand basis. This is a woman that we look at her from the outside and we're like, you were part of the biggest girl group in history. In history, hands down, most successful girls group in history. You've got someone who loves you, that you're about to get married. Everything's looking set good. Like you're making it in the gospel charts. Like you're doing so well for yourself. You've got all these organizations and these initiatives that you're involved in, and yet the depression is still there. And this is why it aggravates me when people are like, "Oh, you can just pray the depression away." No, it's an actual fucking illness. What do you mean? What do you mean? Do you pray a broken leg away? Or do you pray away a spinal injury? No, but somehow everyone thinks that you can just pray away a mental illness. No, as much as prayer is useful and it's wonderful and it's literally the fulcrum that holds me in place, you have to implement other support networks and other things, other tools to help yourself. You do. You literally do. And this is what Michelle said. I think I got it from TMZ. Anyway, let me find it. Here we go. Michelle Williams of Destiny's Child has checked herself into a mental health facility to seek help for her struggle with depression. Sources tell us Williams is getting treated in a facility just outside of Los Angeles and has been there for past several days. Michelle has been open with her struggles in the past, revealing her battle with depression in an interview last year. In a statement Tuesday, Michelle says, "For years, I have dedicated myself to increasing awareness of mental health and empowering people to recognize when it's time to seek help, support, and guidance from those that love and care for your well-being." She continues, "Today, I proudly, happily, and healthily stand here as someone who will continue to always lead by example as I tirelessly advocate for the betterment of those in need." I think that's interesting. That she didn't say, "Oh, I'm going there because everything is mad up in this bitch." She didn't say that. She's saying that she's going there healthily, happily, confidently. She's going because I always say that we shouldn't wait. We shouldn't wait till everything has scattered on the floor for us to be like, you know what? I need to go and see someone. If you feel it, if you are aware that if you're aware that the patterns are starting to show themselves again, the best thing you can do for your own well-being and for if you have enough capacity to think of those around you, for the well-being of those around you, is to take yourself somewhere where you can be cared for in the professional environment that you deserve. I respect Michelle so much for doing that, for having that courage. And people might say, "Oh yeah, well, economically speaking, she has the funds to be able to do that." And yes, she does. And sometimes this is the harsh reality of some of these things, that you have to have money to be able to do some of these things. But there are other initiatives in place that when we do sense these signs, we can get access to them. And I just think what it must be like to be the butt of everybody's jokes. When people talk about let's pretend to be Destiny's Child, everybody goes, "Oh, I don't want to be Michelle." Why? Because this woman is literally out here holding together a group. If Beyonce and Kelly were so badass on their own, why did they have to go and get another member? If they were so bad, why do they need another member? They literally needed her, and she came. Beyonce always refers to her as a godsend. She came and she kept everyone together. It made sense having her there. Yes, I know she's dropped on stage a couple times. Yes, I know all of these things, but it is what it is. Imagine the pressure of being in a girl group with Beyonce. Fucking hell. And then let's add colorism into that, misogynoir into that. No. So I just want us collectively to just send Michelle a lot of love, because it's an incredibly courageous thing to say that, to be like, you know what, I'm going to check, regardless of the stigma that you man have attached to this thing, I'm checking myself into a facility because I care. I love myself enough to do what's best for me, regardless of what you all think. And I think that that's a lesson for us all, to be brave enough to do the things that will benefit us and will preserve our souls, regardless of what anyone else has to say about it. And ultimately, I guess that's why I do this podcast. I appreciate that so many people listen and relate to it and support me. But ultimately, I do this podcast for me because I want it noted that I spoke my truth. I spoke my motherfucking truth at any chance that I got. And this will stay. This will always stay. This is part of my legacy because I had a dream and I remember thinking that, oh my God, I didn't do this and I didn't do this and I didn't do this. And so it was imperative for me to start leaving concrete things that showed the things that I cared about and I spoke up for, so that tomorrow I know that I did do it. I know that I did use my voice in the way that I was meant to. So I just implore us all, it doesn't have to be our voice in that way per se, but I implore us all to do the things that will benefit our souls, because anything that does benefit your soul in the highest form will always bring other people towards you, because we're all essentially on that journey together. And that's why I think that every person that listens to this podcast, especially you patrons, every one of you is just a badass individual, because we resonate with each other in that way. And you see me and I see you, and you hear me and I hear you. And it makes such a difference, because it's not easy. Sometimes I look at my mentions and people are, trolls and all the likes are just saying the wildest things. And I just think, right, if I didn't have the love of God, the love of myself, and the support of all of you, like, how would I be? Like, how would I make it through? So I'm just sending Michelle all of the love and protection that she needs during this time, all the strength that she needs during this time to continue through this journey, because depression isn't something that you shake off. For a lot of us, you live with it, but it's about managing it. So just sending her all of the love, and I'm sending all of you the love out there. If you're feeling that same thing, or even hearing this news, whether it's triggered you in some way, I'm sending you all of the love to continue, because there is so much more that you need to do. There's so much more traveling within yourself, internally and externally, that you need to do, that will level you up in where you are in your life. And we're destined for great things. We're destined for different great things, but we're all destined for great things. So that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the extra content. Love you all, and I will catch you next week. Peace.
It's the Benz Punani womanist, baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. If you sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard times calling for your long throats. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.